people don't like us Dallas Cowboy fans. It's similar to you Leaf fans. That's why we don't like you. Michael Irvin, the playmaker, he's like, Cowboys fans, get your Super Bowl tickets. Stop. He, of all people, should know it's one play at a time. It's one game at a time. The game took years off my life yesterday. But in the end, the Cowboys prevailed. Tells me this is something special brewing with the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is the RP Show. I'm just tweeting the links to watch the streaming and the listen, so I'm not ignoring you all. Hi, Moose.
Hi.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
It's Canada's daytime sports talk show, although sometimes you wouldn't know it. I absolutely agonized over what pullover I was going to wear today, which quarter zip.
Yeah.
Because the Battle of Florida gets going tonight. Did you know that? Battle 1. You probably didn't know that.
I did know that.
Did you?
Of course.
Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers tonight. And I'll tell you why later why I'm wearing my Tampa Bay. Well, I'll tell you now. They invited us to their Stanley Cup party, so why wouldn't we? We're friends with the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah.
Probably cheering for Florida tonight, but I like this. I like this a lot. We've got a lot to get over today. Tori Gurley is going to be with us in hour 1, our NFL Insider. Packers and Browns alum, wide out. And Craig Button will be with us from TSN, the Craigslist, the TSN NHL Director of Scouting. Craig Button will be with us. That's coming up in hour 2 from Cowtown, where incidentally I'll be heading today. And I can't wait after this show to get headed westward again. But that's what's happening in terms of guests today. Can we please hit the quick stick show horn, please? I just really realized my laptop stand had gone missing.
Oh, yes.
It was this golf ball holder. These 50 used golf balls. That's my laptop stand. Who's been sleeping in my bed?
That is such... Was that like...
On brand?
Yeah, I didn't know your dad. But, like, you don't spend money frivolously on crazy things that you don't need to. When you've got something that works fine, why would you replace it?
I believe the way it's said is what you want and what you need are two different things. I don't need a laptop stand. I got one. It's a golf ball holder. Okay. You may or may not be surprised, but we're opening with the National Hockey League and the Calgary Flames. And I'm, again, looking forward to getting into Calgary for the next 3 days and seeing the lay of the land, Moose. You know, I feel like the temperature's going to be hot. They lost 3-2 last night to the Anaheim Ducks. I watched it in overtime. The Flames outshot them 43-27. There was unfortunate mistakes made all over the ice. Puck giveaways, not strong on the puck, i.e. giving it up too easily. Defensive breakdowns. But I'm not here today to rain on the Calgary Flames parade because they worked hard. 43-27, they outshot the Anaheim Ducks last night, Moose. It's not like they didn't work hard, but it was only their second game. It was their home opener. And if I can say this about the Calgary Flames, watching them for 2 periods on Saturday in Edmonton and then last night's game, it is not a talent issue. Did we ever really think that it was?
I don't think so.
No, this is a team that finished first in the West Conference just a couple of years ago. They've been making the playoffs, but save for last year, which led to a coach firing. But in Calgary, I don't know how long the fans are going to put up with mental mistakes and errors, because that's all that it is. That's all that it is for the Calgary Flames is between their ears. It's not a talent thing. And at what point, who do you blame? Because they're still winless. Lost in Edmonton, which never goes over well. Lost at home in the home opener to the Ducks, who are supposed to be a non-playoff team, according to all the experts. I've got them third in the Pacific Division, by the way, and they're doing nothing to dispel that. But the official summary, by the way, Jamie Drysdale scored the OT winner for the Ducks. Drysdale tapped in a Troy Terry pass at 3:26 of extra time Monday night. Cam Fowler and Ricard Raquel also scored for the Ducks, who are 2-1 in the first of 4 straight road games. Anaheim goalie John Gibson made 41 saves for the win after sitting out Friday's loss to Mini with a lower body injury. Blake Coleman scored for the Flames in his Calgary debut. Johnny Gaudreau had 2 assists. Flames goalie Jacob Markstrom stopped 24 shots in the loss. So that's my Flames assessment. All is not lost. But when you see what's going on up the number 2, where the Oilers are unbeaten, and what's going on around the Pacific Division, I would suggest they're already upsetting Calgary. That's my point on number 1. We open with the National Hockey League in Calgary. Over to point 2. Didn't watch a snap of Monday Night Football live, but believe me, I got up and saw all the news of how you feeling, Bills fans. You had an opportunity to tie it with a field goal late in the game, but no, Sean McDermott wants to go for the touchdown and win the game of Monday Night Football. Didn't happen. Turn it over, lose the game, and all of a sudden, Bob's your uncle. The Titans and the Bills are both 4-2. And we're like, where did Tennessee come from? All of us, they haven't been in the conversation of a top NFL team all year. And then they schooled, really, the Bills last night on Monday Night Football. It's your team, so over to you.
Yeah, unbelievable. And barring an overtime loss to the Jets, the Titans are 5-1, right? The game that they kind of, threw away a loss to the Jets. We'll find out later. I don't think the Titans are a top 5 team today, but they're close.
Oh, of course not.
They're close. They got to get a little bit more going in the pass game. And their defense is really bad. But their red zone defense was good. I thought Buffalo moved the ball really well. I thought it was too easy for Josh Allen on third down with Stephon Diggs a lot. But the red zone defense was good. And when it mattered, Tennessee came up with a stop at the end of the game. Derrick Henry had a really good game again against Buffalo.
Did he ever?
Who he hadn't played that well against. He had a 70-yard touchdown run early. Had 150 yards again on the ground, 3 touchdowns. He was really dominant. But look, the fourth down call, that's what everybody's talking about. I'd still make that call if I'm Sean McDermott. You got a big quarterback who just needs an inch, a couple of inches. Just happened that he lost his footing and the Titans defense made the stop, and that's the game, and it was a shocker.
Well, looked like a hell of a game.
It was a really good football
I was happy watching the Leafs and the Rangers and the Flames and the Ducks. I knew that you would have that game covered. By the way, the Prairie Mobile text line is open. Ray in the 6 is watching on the Game Plus television network. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. And Ray writes us, he sent a photo from Scotiabank Arena.
Yeah.
He was there. Thanks, Ray. He says, hi, Rod. Good day to you and Moose. I was at the Leafs New York game last night. What an outstanding overtime. It was exciting to see. Good first game for Austin Mathews. Have a good time in Calgary. The Bills should have won last night. Moose has to be happy today. And clearly you are. I'll say this before I move on, because God knows we get enough Leafs coverage. That's why I opened up with the Flames. I watched the game. Craig Simpson said in the first period he was doing the color that Austin Mathews looked tentative. And probably in the first period, he probably looked a little tentative. But as the game went on, he didn't. Were you able to watch any of the game?
Yeah, I watched a little bit, and then when I got the notification that it was going into overtime, I flipped back in and watched that. And that was a heck of an overtime.
Pretty wild.
Back and forth, and great chances. Mathews had a couple chances to win it. But you know what? This is kind of the Rangers' MO. Henrik Lundqvist is gone, but Shesterkin, or however you say his last name, he's really stepped in, and they're going to have good goaltending. And if they get performances like that in net, they're going to win some games this year. So the Rangers played the game the Rangers needed to play. And then when they had the chance in overtime with Panarin, they buried it. Shesterkin.
And they're paying him very well, and he's earning the money. And good for the New York Rangers. Where'd the Rangers come from? They go into Montreal and win. They go into Toronto and win. They took Dallas to overtime on opening night. Maybe the Rangers got something going. Gerard Gallant's first year there. I paused the Quick Six for the breaking news this morning. I feel like Gary Bettman at the podium of the NHL draft. We have a trade, but it's not NHL. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers today announced the club has acquired American kicker Sergio Castillo in a trade with the BC Lions in exchange for a conditional 4th-round selection in the 2022 CFL draft. Castillo opted out of his 2-year CFL deal in August of 2020 after the cancellation of the season, went on to play in the XFL, as you know, and the National Football League. With the New York Jets, he was in camp with Darren's Titans this year, let go, and has been cooling his heels, and now he's been signed at Winnipeg by the 8-1 Blue Bombers. And they're going nuts in Winnipeg as they signed a kicker. I advise you, Winnipeg, to calm down. They're a little like the football fans here in the Bermuda Triangle of the NHL in that can't stand success. You know what I mean? Like, just enjoy it. But we got to get a kicker. I see that they're winning without a good kicker. But what are they going to find now to point problems with the Blue Bombers? Because they've got everything addressed now.
I know.
It's like they're with the Jets. I don't like the backup goalie. Well, guess what? You're never going to see him anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Right?
Yeah.
So they're very excited in Winnipeg that they got a kicker. Say it out loud, Winnipeg. Moving on, point 3. I'll get to your comments in a moment, but you all know this is the warm-up for Ecole Electric, and this is our time. By the way, at Ecole Electric, our annual fall promotion sale is on now with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. Ecole Electric, let's get to work. Their people are coming in today here, right? Is it today?
I got to check on that.
I think it is right after the show. So the Calgary Stampeders are having some fun with me. Did you get the photo, Clark? You did? Because I know I sent it to Ryan, but they said to send it to you, and then I put it in the WhatsApp, so you should have it.
Here it comes.
There you go. You can win a signed Bo Levi Mitchell jersey unless you're Rod Pedersen. That's me. So, right. That article appeared at 3downnation.com. Jean Valjean, as I always called him, their longtime communications guy, tweeted that you can enter a contest to win 2 tickets to the Riders and Stampeders Saturday in Calgary, plus a Bo Levi jersey if you answer these correct questions about Bo's career. But who's not eligible for the contest are Stampeders employees, Rod Pedersen, and I think somebody else.
Yeah.
And the 3 Down Nation article said it's a tongue-in-cheek reference to Bo and Rod's well-publicized spats over the years. Listen, I can handle it. It's a little fishy that on the weekend I was trying to find an autographed Bo jersey. A couple days later, they're having a contest and say, everybody can be eligible but you. You're not old enough. It's like Stampede Wrestling. We're having a party, Mr. Whalen, but you're not invited. That's what J.R. Foley, the legendary manager. Did you see that?
That's funny.
So I can handle it. I'm a big boy. It's fun. And I'm hoping that the Calgary Stampeders are coming around in that the Bo stuff with me was all just a lot of fun. And maybe they're ready to have some fun with it now. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they want to get a little buzz going and create a little bit of the rivalry again. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
But it is fun. It is fun.
More than anything, it's fun.
And when that's the top story at 3downnation.com, yeah.
That's what's happening in the CFL.
It was pretty entertaining.
Randy Nickel writes in, says, checking in from the NFL hotbed of Mesa, Arizona. They're a hotbed for the NFL even when the Cardinals suck. But now they are 6-0 on poised to go 7-0. I can't imagine what's going on in the Valley of the Sun right now with the Cardinals on top of the National Football League. And good for them. They've never won a Super Bowl. They've been dragged through the ringer. They deserve it. John Ohm in Winnipeg. Ohm, he's watching. I'm going to win that jersey and give it to Rod. From Katie Fleury. She says, give me the answers and I'll enter for you. Well, that's not really the idea. You got to find the answers yourself. But I love Katie. We saw her after the Pats game. Remember when we were going around the concourse after our broadcast the other night? Point 4, Canadian Football League power rankings are out. They're, as usual, wrong. But number 1, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, we would all agree with that. Number 2, the Toronto Argonauts, and good for the Argos. That's my Eastern team, maybe my number 1 team, and they're on top of the division. They just keep winning. Number 3, the Calgary Stampeders, the hottest team in the league. Let's remember they started the year at number 6. They've moved up to number 3. The Stamps are getting better. I think that's what you want. Number 4, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I'm sorry to say, for the Green guys, they're going the wrong way. Huge game Saturday at Calgary. We're going to find out what they're made of. And if they lose that game, I might suggest the season's over for them. I'm not in terms of being a contender.
Right.
They might still make the playoffs, but they're done if they don't win Saturday at Calgary. Number 5, the Montreal Alouettes. Number 6, the BC Lions. Number 7, the Hamilton Tiger Cats. What the heck's happened there? The bottom's completely fallen out. They're like a wet paper box.
Yeah.
Number 8, the Edmonton Elks, and number 9, the Ottawa Red Blacks. And this is where I say it's wrong. Ottawa's beaten Edmonton twice. How the hell can you have them behind Edmonton? They're both dumpster fires. But again, do you not factor in games against each other? Isn't that how this works?
A little bit.
Or do you agree with this?
I don't know. I guess the idea, it's about today's moment in time. Who's a better football team? And if you were going to put Edmonton and Ottawa against each other,
Ottawa would win.
then they should be ranked ahead.
Ding, ding, ding.
Who's going to win today?
Tell him what he's won, Bob.
Yeah.
We are 4 points through the quick six, and we're going to break and come back and continue. And then I'll kind of turn over to you. We got Darren's top 5 NFL teams. We've got last night's ALCS results. Any NHL, CFL-related questions you want, that's fine. The Battle of Florida, the BOF. You've heard of it, right? The BOF. It gets rolling tonight with the first game, Tampa Bay in Florida. It pained me to put on this Tampa Bay jacket, but they've been very good to us, too. Should be a hell of a game. I'll be watching it. You win a Bo Levi Mitchell jersey. Ryan in Saratoga, New York, watching. He says, what happens if there's a guy in Calgary who's actually named Rod Pedersen going, crap, I can't win a Bo Levi jersey. There's actually an optometrist in Lethbridge named Rod Pedersen, if it helps. Look it up. From Mandy in Edmonton. She says, I know Trevor Harris was traded to Montreal. Why are you saying traded? He was traded. Trust me.
No, he was traded.
It's not. He was traded to Montreal. Who was he traded for? He was traded for defensive end Antonio Simmons. I know. He's not even a household name in his own house. They were just trying to get rid of Trevor. Let's break and come back and get into the good stuff. Mm-hmm. This has been the warm-up for eCold Electric. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network today. Live streaming on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Rocking and rolling into the second segment here of episode number 594 of Canada's daytime sports talk show. And that's why I say let's bring the noise. Let's hear from everybody, whatever you want to talk about today. We got a couple more topics left here in the quick six. On the way in hour one, our NFL insider Tori Gurley. In hour two, TSN's director of scouting Craig Button. The CFL fans, of course, are awake. It's October, for the love of Pete. What are the two things going on in Canada? NHL hockey, CFL football. Boom. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think they want to talk about?
Exactly.
And but it's interesting. Jeff, the Stamps fan, has written in, and I asked Clark to put it on the screen. Jeff, the Stamps fan watching in Calgary, says, the Stampeders' opponent on Saturday, quite frankly, bores me some. As Trump said, you get tired of winning. I'm wanting a piece of those Bombers. I can't disagree with him. This Saskatchewan-Calgary rivalry, while once white-hot, is significantly dormant right now. And forget it, it is late October, for the love of Pete. These games... Yeah, they used to pay the ambulance drivers to drive around the stadium. You know what I mean?
Take a lap.
Get some action going.
Yeah.
Leonard writes in from the 536. He says, I think our coach should book sick for the next game. His younger brother seems to have a psychological edge over him. For our American viewers, Calgary's head coach is Dave Dickinson. Saskatchewan's head coach is Craig Dickinson. And right now, Dave Dickinson's pulling an Aaron Rodgers. I still own you. He is, right? But it's dormant. You can go back and search on YouTube Rough Riders Stampeders games and see the videos from the crowd. Now, it turned my stomach when it happened, those crowd fights, right? It was really bad. And they would double and triple the security for these games. My God, it was sold out, packed down the street. And there will be a really big crowd Saturday night, I'm sure. But it's not what it used to be, and you tell me why that is. The game, it should sell itself.
When you drive through Calgary on a game day against Saskatchewan, the streets are full of people.
Right.
And crossing the main drag and everything, and you got to, not anymore. And I don't know why. And even as much as, a couple of seasons ago, I think I said in the early days of this show, Saskatchewan's number one rival is Calgary. It's not Winnipeg, it's Calgary.
Yeah.
Because of the playoff battles, and they'd met each other in the playoffs, and they'd had all these heated things that meant something. And the Henry Burris thing going to Calgary and leaving Saskatchewan, it meant something. It's not anymore. There's nothing there. Where's the back and forth? Where's, the intense games, the playoff matchups? I mean, maybe if they play a real slobber knocker this weekend and Saskatchewan wins to kind of get that season series respectable, and then they meet in the playoffs, maybe it can be back. But it's lacking a little punch right now. It's
lacking some zip. And that's all that I'm willing to talk about it right now. We'll talk about it more when I get up to Calgary, which is tonight. The Jets fans are awake and they're concerned, and I totally get it, as we reside here in the NHL's Bermuda Triangle, right between Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Calgary. I'm just going to throw in a couple comments from Sean Holm watching on YouTube. He says, if the Jets lose again tonight, The heat is on the coach. From James Zylstra in Winnipeg. Jets game tonight will not be easy. There are 11 games in the National Hockey League tonight, and you can zero in on which you'll be following. I mentioned I'll be following the Battle of Florida, obviously. Lightning and Panthers, which I still think is the best rivalry right now in the NHL. Is that what we're doing? We're going to look ahead to tonight's NHL games because I'm more than fine with that. Believe me, I am. But I was thinking about this morning. I didn't even get through the dang NHL last night. Let me just finish this up. Okay, let's just put up to bed last night, okay, before we look forward. I talked about the Flames, gave the analysis. Talent is not an issue in Calgary. It's attitude. It's up to them to fix it. In Philly, Claude Giroux and Travis Konechny scored. Karahat stopped 24 shots. And the Flyers spoiled former coach Dave Hochstahl's return to Philly with a 6-1 drubbing of the Seattle Kraken on Monday night. Artemi Panarin, as you all know, scored in overtime. Igor Shesterkin stopped 40 shots, and the Rangers beat the Leafs 2-1. And Jordan Kyrou had 2 goals and 2 helpers, and the St. Louis Blues scored 5 times in a 5:07 span of the second period for a 7-4 victory over the Arizona Coyotes in the Yotes home opener. So, I was coming home from having coffee at my friends Roger and Galen's, okay? I put it on NHL radio. The Leafs game had just wrapped up, and we all get it. Joe Bone, good night from Scotiabank Arena.
Yep.
Right? Now the NHL presents the Arizona Coyotes and St. Louis Blues. I'm like, what? The Flames are playing the Ducks. What are you talking about, Coyotes, Blues? Get out of here with you, Coyotes, Blues. And then I go home and I turn on the NHL Network, and they're showing it on the NHL Network. Who cares about the Arizona Coyotes and the St. Louis Blues? They don't even care in Arizona. It's the Flames home opener, for the love of God. Well, fortunately, I had Sportsnet, of course, and I watched the game there. But it seemed like NHL Network was really propping up this Blues-Arizona game. And I was thinking about that column at The Athletic that said the coaches that are on the biggest hot seat in the NHL. And number 1 was the Coyotes on Tourigny. It's Andre, right?
Yeah.
The former Ottawa 67s coach. And I'm like, that's when I just closed the thing. I stopped reading. You don't even know what you're talking about. Don't just throw a guy and have him write a column on The Athletic and say it's good. Andre Tourigny is not the number 1 coach hot seat in the NHL, despite the fact his team's been bombed in 2 of their 3 games. 7-2 last night to the Blues. What was it in Columbus? Or 7-4. 8-2, I think, in Columbus on opening night?
He just got there. He
hasn't even unpacked yet. But it got me to thinking, who are the coaches? Who really legitimately are the coaches that are on the hot seat? I got to think Travis Green in Vancouver. I'm sorry. I'm not really sure what his contract status is. Sheldon Keefe, we know for a fact, just re-signed in Toronto. He's fine. No, well, if they crap the bed again, it's going to be the guys higher than Sheldon Keefe. They're going to be going. They're saying Vigneault in Philly. I mean, let's look around. Barry Trotz is fine on the Islanders. They just hired Gerard Gallant with the Rangers.
Yeah.
Ducharme just got his deal in Montreal. I would think Todd McClellan in LA might be feeling some heat.
It's time. They need to start showing improvement and working their way up. They got a young core now, but you still have Kopitar leading your way, who's he's on the back 9, right? We know that. So for sure, I don't want to give credibility, and I hate to say it, but where are the Winnipeg Jets with Paul Maurice if they don't have success this year? I don't think.
Do you think there's some heat on him?
There's probably some heat on him. I think they need to see results now. It's a good group. I think they are on the upswing, or not on the upswing. They are up there. It's their time to compete. They're not a rebuilding team. They're not a growing team. They've already grown, so they need to see results. I'm not having a short leash during the season on him, putting him on the immediate hot seat, but if they don't have success come the end of the season, then maybe I'm considering it. Yeah, I mean.
Minnesota's 2-0, by the way.
Yeah.
So this is a tough one tonight for the Winnipeg Jets.
Well, and without Blake Wheeler, who's in COVID protocol. So I was just looking at Twitter. Jamie Thomas has Kyle Connor, Mark Scheifele, and Andrew Kopp on the top line without Blake Wheeler. Stastny, Dubois, and Ehlers on the second line. So there's your top 6 potentially for the game tonight without Blake Wheeler. And who knows how long he'll be in the COVID protocol, a few days. So that's a bit of a hole for the Jets, and I know they're worried about dropping to 0-2.
From the general in Calgary, he says, "Thank you, Rangers, for killing Toronto's buzz." It didn't kill Toronto's buzz, in my opinion. The Leafs are going to have buzz even when they're crappy. They got buzz. They're leading the Atlantic Division with 5 points, but they've played the most games. They're 2-1-1. It's a very interesting division, that Atlantic Division. The Panthers are 2-0. The Sabres are 2-0. That won't last. Habs 0-3. That's a topic for another day. Which team should be the most worried that's winless? I don't think the Islanders should be worried, right?
No.
I don't think the Jets should be worried. I think Nashville is who we thought they were. I think the window's closed for Nashville. That's just my opinion.
I have to agree. I think it maybe is past. And it's too early to really say for sure. But you're right. That's a poll question once we have like 4 winless teams left. Right now, I think there's a few too many. It's too early.
Fair. Very fair. Brock Daniel, watching on Facebook, has written in a novel. Don't put it up on the screen, guys. I'll just give you a couple highlights of it. He says, "Hey, Rod, we got to clear something up. The Titans did not school the Bills last night. Without points left off the field and penalties for Buffalo, this game wouldn't have even been close. If the Titans didn't have Derrick Henry, they wouldn't even deserve a Monday Night Football game. And if my aunt had nuts, she'd be my uncle. What are you saying, bud? The Bills shot themselves in the foot. Derrick Henry ripped off a 76-yard touchdown? You need to stop it."
You got Julio Jones, who's one of the greatest receivers of the generation. A.J. Brown, top young receivers. Ryan Tannehill. There's plenty of storylines. And let's not forget the Titans dealing with injuries. Did they even have 3 defensive backs to finish the football game? So they kept it close and won a football game with half a roster on defense, which was pretty good. But Buffalo did move the ball pretty effectively, just couldn't get it done in the red zone. It's a good football game. The Titans have had a few primetime games, and they always seem to deliver in primetime. We saw the Jacksonville game in primetime a few years ago.
This guy seems like a smart guy. But if we didn't take so many penalties, and if we didn't leave the points on the field, and if we could have tackled Derrick Henry, we'd have kicked their ass. Does it sound different when I say it out loud? From Northside YEG. Big game. Sask versus Calgary this weekend. Playoff implications. Second place on the line. Fajardo might have Duke Williams to catch those 50-50 balls, but Calgary has Bo Levi Mitchell. By the way, Brock continues. Brock is our good friend from Calgary. Maybe I'll see him this week. He says, "Hope to see our friends from the RP show at the Shark Club in Calgary for Thursday Night Football." Brock, I will already be on a plane bound for the Bridge City by Thursday night. It's a blur right now, but that's okay. That's a good thing.
We'll be back.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah.
Jeff, the Stamps fan. That's right, Rod. The atmosphere is not the same at McMahon. Rider fans are still represented, but less so and much more subdued. Well, we're not whipping them up into a blood-snorting frenzy like we used to.
Yeah.
That was what Bo and I got into. We don't do that anymore. It's just a game, it would seem, Saturday night. Saskatchewan, Calgary. It'll be a good game, but nobody's talking about it. We'll break and bring in Tori Gurley right after this. Craig Button coming up in hour 2. It's the RP show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Just ahead of our NFL Insider Tori Gurley. Want to tell you that our poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center is, which is Canada's game of the week in the CFL? And I want you to put some thought into this, not just blindly vote for it, but it's Toronto at Montreal Friday night, first place showdown in the East, and then a Saturday triple header. Ball for all. Ottawa at Hamilton, BC at Winnipeg, and then, of course, Saskatchewan at Calgary. Running away with it, Stamps and Riders. Of course, 77%, but the poll will be up for 23 more hours. We've got a lot to get to with our NFL Insider Tori Gurley, and I want to sashay over into some CFL chat near the end. But Tori, if you don't mind, howdy. You are a Bills alum as well. Your take on last night's Monday Night Football contest that went down to the wire. Titans upsetting the Bills 34-31.
Yeah, it's disheartening to see, Buffalo not win that game. Everybody had them up on a pedestal. We were ready to crown them as being the team, one of the leaders in the AFC, and out of nowhere, they go out and lose to a Tennessee Titans team that struggled all year long. So as of now, man, this thing is up in the air. The only consistent thing that we have is Tom Brady is still rolling, and Lamar Jackson just continues to win games. So when it's all said and done, it wouldn't shock me if those two teams are left standing.
Yes, and we have a lot of viewers in the Phoenix area. The Cardinals are 6-0. Steve Kimes, the longtime general manager, he's had his ups and downs there. I would say that he put his balls on the table hiring Cliff Kingsbury as their head coach. It was his first head coaching job. Kyler Murray wasn't your conventional quarterback. Voila, 6-0. Did you see this coming?
No. I've been a fan of the Cardinals, but I did not see 6-0. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I just think they're beating up on teams who they're supposed to beat. But as you get down towards the, division play, as well as, when they do make it to the playoffs, I think they're a year away from actually being able to achieve the team success. Kyler Murray is a hell of a player. He's the MVP candidate. But I think those things are going to show coming down the stretch, being able to stay in the pocket because teams are really going to lock in on a game plan and they're going to force them to, have to make throws or for them to get away from their pass game and run the ball. And that's something that the Cardinals does not want to do.
Tori, how closely are you watching those Cleveland Browns? And I ask because they were in just about everybody's top 5 all year. Now you can't find them with a search party. And everybody's pointing fingers around there. What's happened with the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah, those guys are starting to fall apart. A lot of injuries. This is Baker's contract year. A lot of guys in his draft class have had contract extensions, but him. And right now, he's just not playing at a high level. He looks bad. And the most consistent thing is Myles Garrett as well as Nick Chubb. Those are the guys that really are the nucleus and core of the team. But it's all on the shoulders of Baker Mayfield. They got to find a way to utilize OBJ. He's not getting enough touches. And as I mentioned earlier, you had players injured like Jarvis Landry. So hopefully those guys could patch this thing back up together, because if not, it can be a very disappointing season out there in Cleveland.
Tori, what's happened with the style of football in the NFL? And we've been talking about the entertainment value, CFL versus NFL right now. The CFL took a year off. The NFL did not. But we've got high-scoring games and well into the double digits. 3 overtime games on Sunday alone. What's happened in the NFL that it's not the no-fun league anymore and run first, that it's become so wide open? Where did that philosophy shift?
I just think, these quarterbacks are just more advanced than what we're used to. Back when, maybe 5-10 years ago, it was traditional for guys to sit. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith when he was drafted to Kansas City. So now these owners have figured it out. They're like, you know what? Our championship windows are as soon as we draft a guy. We got to get him on the field because we can build a team around him. Because once those guys start making the max money like a Pat Mahomes or Dak Prescott, now that salary cap is strapped where you really can't go out and go buy the players you need to play in certain positions. So now you're banking on the draft to help you. So that's why we see a lot of high-scoring games, because one or two things. These young quarterbacks, they're pushing the ball downfield, being aggressive, or they're turning the ball over and is creating more opportunities for the opposing team to score. And now you're playing catch-up. So, but at the end of the day, I think all this stuff is gonna level out towards the end of the year once we start playing for, guys positioning for playoff spots. And that's where you're really going to see the defense stand up and bring a championship home for any team.
From the general in Calgary, he says, question for Tori, is it time to blow up the Giants yet or fire Joe Judge? New York just can't get it right. What are you seeing there, Tori?
I think just the state of New York, period. The Giants and the Jets, both of them stink. I think with the Giants, this would be a great opportunity to get rid of Coach Judge. I just don't think he's the guy. Daniel Jones needs some more help. He does have Jason Garrett there as offensive coordinator, former head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, but I just don't think Judge is the guy to get the Giants to playing well. I think they just need to get rid of him and start fresh and, maybe find somebody else that can, jumpstart that New York Giants football team.
Trayvon Diggs is one interception away from an NFL record, which would be 7 consecutive games. Let's just talk about America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. Michael Irvin is advising us Cowboys fans to get our Super Bowl tickets now. Tori, how do we feel about that?
Oh, I'm a Trayvon Diggs fan. I'm happy for him. I just don't believe in him. I just know Dallas is going to do what Dallas they're going to break your heart. And I know everybody's going to enjoy it. They should go out and, they are going to win a division. They probably will be the number 1 seed, but it would not shock me if Dallas gets beat in the first round of the playoffs, and all this hard work for nothing. So, we'll see what Michael Irvin is up to. He might be Nostradamus and might be able to call something, but that's just something I don't see. I don't think those guys, I think they're a year away as well. With Dak Prescott coming back off injury, I think these are the times where these young guys, they learn and they experience what it's like to play that high-level ball. I think right now this is their first chance of just getting a taste of success, and honestly, I just don't think they'll be able to sustain it.
Shoot, you say coming off injury. He left Foxborough in a boot Sunday night, Dak Prescott. Thank God we're on a bye this week, and they say it's just a mild calf sprain. Hey, 2 quick questions for you. The last one, Aaron Rodgers, 5-1, trash talking the Bears fans. Looks like all is forgotten there. At least he's playing that way. What do you think about the Packers and Aaron?
Yeah, he owns Chicago. He went out and handled business, and whenever you have a rookie quarterback going against a Hall of Famer, what do you expect? So, the Packers did what they were supposed to do. They went out and handled business, but they know their nemesis is teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, somebody that has a Hall of Fame quarterback and also has a defense. So we'll see how all this stuff plays out.
Lastly, I don't know if you've talked to your good friend Trevor Harris or not, but he's been moved out of Edmonton to the Montreal Alouettes. Quite the ground-shaking news in the CFL, Tori. Do you have a take on that situation?
I was shocked. I haven't spoke with them recently, but I was shocked to see that, and then I heard the general manager saying, hey, he had a better chance at, growing to be 6'5" than getting rid of Trevor Harris. At the end of the day, it's a business. Trevor knows how to handle it. Montreal just picked up a great guy, great leader, great quarterback, and he's extremely competitive. He won't forget this, and anytime he goes out and gets to go against Edmonton, he's going to try to put up 100 on him because, it means the world to him to go out and let people know he still can play at a high level.
Has it been tough to see Trevor go through what he's gone through, to be honest, in Ottawa at the tail end of his career and now in Edmonton? Like, I'm friends with him, but you're very close friends with him. It just seems like he doesn't get a fair shake anywhere he goes.
Yeah, we talked about it. He was like, Tori, I just need you to come out of retirement, and make it a little easier on me. So we joke about it, but Trevor, he's going to be fine. He's very resilient. He's always my quarterback. I thank God for having the opportunity to play with him, and this guy's going to bounce back. He's someone you don't have to feel sorry for him. He's going to go out and get it done.
Good to hear. All right, well, we thank God for you. My best to the family. Still waiting for the news, my man. Praying for you.
Any day now.
Yeah, I know. Good luck. We'll be the first to send congratulations. Thanks, Tori. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks for having me.
Tori Gurley, our NFL insider, checking in from South Carolina today. We'll be right back. Sports update, viewer takeover. Craig Button coming up in hour 2. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network. YouTube and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Hey, love it. Good day, Brian Dodge, the mayor of Dodge City. He's checking in, watching on YouTube. Says, love the shirt, RP. Go Bolts. Brian, I think, missed the start of the show where I said I agonized over what pullover to wear today, which quarter zip, Lightning or Panthers, because battle number one of the Battle of Florida goes tonight. The game is in Tampa. You want to put a little wager on it, Brian? Lunch next time? Because I am cheering for the Panthers, but Lightning had us at their Stanley Cup party. Al Murray, their assistant GM. We're Lightning fans. We're just more of Florida Panthers fans. So that's a game that I'll be watching tonight. We've got some news. That's what we love about daytime sports talk. Things do happen in the morning, believe it or not. Trade out of the Canadian Football League. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers today announced the club has acquired American kicker Sergio Castillo in a trade in exchange for a conditional fourth-round pick in the 2022 CFL draft. He has not played in the CFL since opting out of his contract in the 2020 season. He spent last season with the NFL's New York Jets and was in camp this year with the Tennessee Titans, and he also played in the XFL. From the Western Hockey League, here we go. More breaking news. This is interesting because I had someone in Calgary, actually more than one person in Calgary, tell me they love the show because of the junior hockey coverage. So here's an announcement from our friends at the Dub. The Western Hockey League is proud to announce 45 players have been named to the NHL Central Scouting's preliminary players to watch list ahead of the 2022 NHL draft. Clark, any idea who the number one player is? You should get this. In the Dub, who's the number one rated player for the NHL draft? You're close. You're close, Clark. Yes. Number one, Connor Geekie of the Winnipeg Ice, product of Strathclair, Manitoba. Connor Geekie is the number one prospect in the Dub for the NHL draft. Number two, Denton Mateychuk of the Moose Jaw Warriors. Number 3, Matt Savoy of the aforementioned Winnipeg Ice. Number 4, Tyler Brennan, Prince George Cougars. Number 5, Josh Davies, Swift Current Broncos. The list goes on and on and on. If you want to read more, go to moosejaw.warriors.com. And, of course, there's people going to be saying, well, what about Connor Bedard? He's not old enough. That's next year, y'all. To the sports update, Walker Buehler will take the mound for the Dodgers today as the NLCS shifts to Los Angeles. The home team trails the Braves 2-0, but Atlanta hasn't won a game at Dodger Stadium since 2018. Charlie Morton gets the start for the Braves. Houston's pitching staff needs to get itself sorted quickly after allowing 25 runs and 32 hits to Boston over the first 3 games of the ALCS. Veteran righty Zach Greinke will try to slow the Red Sox at the start of Game 4 as the Astros aim to erase a 2-1 series deficit. Boston starts righty Nick Pivetta. Those are matinees. Well, the NLCS game is a 3:08 Mountain first pitch. Full slate of games on the show tonight, 11. Montreal Canadiens hosting the San Jose Sharks. Vancouver Canucks visiting the Buffalo Sabres. Later, the Winnipeg Jets look for their first win at the Minnesota Wild. And the Edmonton Oilers look to go to 3-0 when they host Anaheim. Blue Jackets forward Max Domi will miss 2 to 4 weeks with a rib fracture suffered in Saturday's win against Seattle. Max has been playing well after recovering from his shoulder surgery June 4th. And the NBA season tips off tonight. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the reigning champion Milwaukee Bucks take on the Nets in the opener. This is for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games and book your group or business party now. See you in hour 2 after this break.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at BetRegal.net.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
People don't like us Dallas Cowboy fans. It's similar to you Leaf fans. That's why we don't like you. Michael Irvin, the playmaker, he's like, Cowboys fans, get your Super Bowl tickets. Stop. He, of all people, should know it's one play at a time. It's one game at a time. The game took years off my life yesterday. But in the end, the Cowboys prevailed. Tells me this is something special brewing with the Dallas Cowboys. America's team.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. And welcome to Hour 2 of the RP Show. It's brought to you by our good friends at Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. They're Alberta-based, aren't they, Moose?
I believe so.
Yeah, but they do have an office here because I drove by it on the weekend.
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
Big operation.
And we're heading out Alberta way tonight. I can't wait.
Don't say we.
Me.
I'm not going. Yeah. I wish.
That reminds me of the old-time CFL fans.
Yeah.
Well, who was the long-time? You guys got to help me. The long-time O-line coach of the BC Lions, and he'd been in Calgary before that. We had him for like 1 year here. Sweeter, DM me. He's one of the coaches from this. Chris Sweet that watches the show all the time and DMs me from the States. Mike Walker? No, not Mike Walker. He was a D-line coach. A little Italian guy from Pennsylvania. Anyways, I remember I was interviewing him one time and I said, Coach, how many Grey Cups have you won? We've won 5 Grey Cups. And I'm like, no, not we, you. Same thing. But he would not speak of himself that way.
Right.
We've won. Wait, you and your wife? You and that mouse in your pocket? Who was that little long-time O-line coach in BC? You guys got to tell me. He's followed Wally everywhere. Oh, it's driving me nuts. He's retired now. Tells you how
somebody
old I am.
The 2003 BC Lions coaching staff. Just picking
probably 2006.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
Talk, Darren.
It'll be on Wikipedia.
Well, I go to the big board
or
here.
Somewhere. But these are the stories that people love, right?
Oh, yeah. How many Grey Cups you won, Coach? Well, we won 5. No, you. Oh, here we go. BC Lions coaching staff returns for 2006. Does 2006 work for? Is that something you might be interested in? Dan Dorazio!
We got it.
How about that?
We got it.
Spicy.
Can you Google him?
That?
Clark, can you Google his picture? Just a little, wee little guy. I always wondered how he could coach the offensive line.
Never played the position.
These gigantic road graders, he's coaching them to 5 Grey Cups. So consider this for a second. I'm just going to read his bio. Dan Dorazio enters his 34th year of coaching and his 9th in the CFL.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Dan Dorazio. I didn't even have to go to my phone. We found it. You're smart. There we go. There he is. Doesn't that just look like wee little football guy?
Oh, yeah.
He's so cool. And we had him for 1 year in Saskatchewan. I don't remember what year it was, but we got on great. Just a good football guy. Oh, my God. Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York says Dan Dorazio. How would you know that? In Saratoga, New York. What do I win? Let me think about it.
He Googled it.
Yeah, probably.
A little slower than you did, but he Googled it.
You get a signed Bo Levi Mitchell jersey. Where do we go from here, caller? From the General in Calgary. Rod's delight on that discovery made me laugh. These are just great guys. I miss them. These are the guys that built the CFL. Sometimes I wonder, what are we doing now? Is there personalities? Who's a personality?
Right.
They're just not on the stage that they used to be, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll get around to the NHL here and stuff. Hey, Craig Button. Here's a quote from David in Winnipeg. He says, I think the Winnipeg Jets have the best chance to be the next Canadian team to win a Stanley Cup. Quote, Craig Button, October 12th, 2021. I don't discount that. I was watching that day on SportsCenter. I remember him saying that. As a matter of fact, he initially said they were a dark horse. He's like, no, they're not a dark horse at all. They are the number one team in Canada to win the Stanley Cup. So despite that bold prognostication, they are 0-2 going into the mini tonight to take on the Minnesota Wild, a 2-0 team. So I feel like we put to bed last night's games real fast, and everybody's looking ahead. That's today's world, though,
I was
now, right?
actually going to say that. We're on the air at noon Eastern.
Yeah.
Every day.
Nobody wants to talk about last night.
The real morning shows have already talked about last night. They spent all morning talking about last night.
Yeah, what do you mean the real morning show? What are we?
Well, we start at noon Eastern. It's afternoon. That's kind of where I was going with that.
That's where all the population is.
Well.
Is out east, believe me.
Yeah.
Well, as I was doing the show from Florida, I must say it did kind of muddle up my day.
Changes it.
Noon, it changes things.
And we're going to go through that here next month.
We're changing times, November 7th, for the Saskatchewan viewers. And it's funny, and Arizona viewers.
That's right.
Will be 1 hour later. I was listening to Scott Laughlin on NHL radio, and he was saying the other day, he's like, I always forget. What are the time changes for Saskatchewan and Arizona? It's November 7th, and we don't change time because the world revolves around us in both places. You understand that, right? From Leighton Janice watching on YouTube says, y'all are a morning show out here in beautiful BC. You can't forget that, Moose.
You can't. And maybe that's, you know what, the games that we'll review, the West Coast games. We can still review the West Coast games and tee up the rest of the games. You know,
I say we keep doing what we're doing.
The morning. Well, yeah, what are we doing? I mean, it works pretty well.
Yeah. From Earl James watching on YouTube says, Rod Rust always surprised me. Frail old dude coaching behemoths. I got a Rod Rust story. He used to coach the New England Patriots and for a time the Montreal Alouettes. And way back in 1999 when I started as the voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, I used to do a show from the Teachers Club. You may or may not remember, Darren. You were just a wee little lad. And I would try to get the coaches to come down to the bar. It wasn't easy to do this talk show. And so I called Rod Rust. He was in his hotel room. And I said, Coach Rust, Rod Pedersen here, voice of the Rough Riders, would you be willing to come on my show on Monday at 6 o'clock? He's like, yeah, would love to. I said, well, we're at the Teachers Club. It's at the corner of Elphinstone and College. No, Elphinstone and Regina Avenue. He goes, I'm not coming to some bar. I'm not going down there. And I thought, what an idiot of me to ask.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's 100. He doesn't want to come down to a bar. So in the end, I had him on the phone, and it was a wonderful interview. And I'll never forget. The Alouettes, if I recall, were pretty good then. They've always been pretty good.
Yeah.
And I said, who gets the credit? They were leading the league in some incredible stat, like lowest points against going into week 14. I said, who gets the credit? He goes, credit? Who cares who gets the credit? We're winning. And I never, ever, 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 ever forgot that.
Wow.
How sports is such a wonderful microcosm of life. Who cares who gets the credit? We're winning.
Does it matter? That's pretty good. Like, that's a philosopher.
Write it down, kids.
No kidding. That's pretty good. Who gets the credit? It doesn't matter who gets the credit. When we're winning, we're winning. We all get the credit.
That's why he's been so successful, and he's in the Hall of Fame. So there you go, kids. Gather around the fire. Let's play Deal or No Deal right now. What do you say? It is our weekly contest for BetRegal.net. I'm the host. Darren's the contestant, where we look at this week's CFL games, in this case, Week 12. I give the betting lines as provided by the BetRegal.net odds makers, and he decides whether he wants to take them or not. I think he did pretty well last week, as I recall.
Yes.
Okay, so Friday night, Week 12 opens with the Toronto Argonauts at the Montreal Alouettes. They are taking the easy way out on this one. The Argos are favored by 1 on the road in Montreal. Mathews Schlitz gets the start. Schiltz, I know, but I'd like to say Schlitz. Toronto favored by 1. Deal or no deal?
Deal. Double deal, if that's a thing.
You're taking it.
I'm taking it.
You're taking that all day, huh?
Yeah.
How do you think the game's going to play out?
Yeah, I think I don't think it'll be a bad game. I think Montreal's played really well. There's a reason it's a 1-point spread, but I think the Argos will win by a touchdown.
So the point spread is easy. The 1-point spread is easy. Deal. A Saturday triple-header in the Canadian Football League has Ottawa at Hamilton in the first game. The Ticats are favored by 14.5 points. Ticats 14.5 at home over Ottawa. Deal or no deal?
No deal.
No deal.
No deal. I think Ottawa is going to cover that spread. I don't know if they're going to win the game, but I don't think they lose by 14.
Middle game of the doubleheader is the BC Lions at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Sergio Castillo. The Blue Bombers are favored by 11.5 points. Deal or no deal, son?
11.5. No deal.
No deal.
No deal.
You got faith in BC, huh?
I do.
To beat the spread? And then Saturday night, Canada's game of the week. In Week 12 of the CFL, it's the Saskatchewan Roughriders at the Calgary Stampeders. Calgary favored by 1. Deal or no deal?
1? Easy deal.
Yeah?
It's an easy deal.
You got Calgary to win this one?
One. Yeah, I think it's going to be real tight. Like by a field goal. But there's nothing showing me that Saskatchewan's able to stop the slide right now. So I hope they prove me wrong, but Calgary's going one way, Saskatchewan's going the other, and you're giving me just a point for Calgary? I'm taking it.
Just seems so darn easy.
It did, didn't it?
It's 11-11.
Looks like I'm going 4 for 4 or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Have a sip of coffee. Woo. The portal of opportunity is opening. Are you paying attention? By the way, the coffee from Caliber Coffee today is a new brew. Robust and earthy, if I may. What is it?
It's Peru Moreno. It's a medium dark roast. So it's a different one, but it's very good. We always have a mix of light roasts and dark roasts, and this is a darker one today from Peru.
It's really good. Caliber Coffee. And you can order online, as Darren said. You don't even need to leave your house. Every single blend is fantastic, and I would not steer you wrong. I'm looking you right in the eye when I say that. I know this is a really big deal in Winnipeg and for sports fans that follow Winnipeg teams. Leighton is watching in BC and says, Rod, any thoughts on the Bomber game and the Jets game being on at the same time? I would defer to all of our Winnipeg viewers. Why don't you all write in and tell me what you think? Because clearly you have an opinion. I really don't, and here's why. I'm going to be on television that night on regional TV calling God's team, the Regina Pats, against the Saskatoon Blades. That's that day, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be watching anyways, so it doesn't really affect me. So you tell me what you think about the BC at Winnipeg game being on the same time as the Winnipeg Jets. You going to tell me in 50 years of Winnipeg Jets hockey and 60 years of Winnipeg Blue Bomber football, this has never happened before? And do I need to be the guy to say 14 months ago we didn't have any sports at all? So I know I live my life in that thing of gratitude. It can always be worse. What are we complaining about? You don't hear me complain. If I do it on here, it's usually just for your entertainment. I don't really have an opinion on it. That's what a remote control's for. What are you upset about? But I would like to hear from the Winnipeg people, because I may have completely misread this. But I'm like, pick one, watch it, and quit your bitching.
There's enough people in Winnipeg to fill both stadiums.
Yes.
If they're both at home. I'm not sure if that's the case.
Well, and Jeff in Winnipeg, Jeff Kabilis, one of our P1s, says the NHL doesn't care. I bet the NHL still thinks there are 2 Rough Rider teams. That guy should have his own show.
I know, that's good.
You're 100% right. I defer to the 2008 Grey Cup in Montreal, where the night before the game, the Alouettes were playing the Stampeders, and the Habs decide to retire Patrick Roy's jersey the night before. And the CFL people, because I was right inside with them all then, they were like, come on! Canadian, really? Just completely stole all the thunder from the Grey Cup. Oh, we never thought about it. They never do. That's the problem.
It's like the little Beatles on the ground in Men in Black, and Tommy Lee Jones is just, Will Smith is walking on all, doesn't even care. But if they happen to acknowledge the Beatle, right? Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. The NHL, they don't even see what's going on.
No, it's levels. It's levels. It's like in the sweatpants capital, the Rough Riders are the team that mushrooms every other team. Believe me, I worked for the Pats for a number of years before I worked for the Rough Riders, and the Riders would schedule news conferences and drop big news on the day of a game, and we're sitting there going, really? Whoops. But they didn't think about it.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Jets are deliberately having a game at the same time as the Bombers. They wouldn't have thought about it. James in Winnipeg says, I'm going to the Bombers game. Jets are second on the list. Going to enjoy our Bombers run. Well, that's the thing. You only got a couple more months of Winnipeg Blue Bomber football. They're probably going to win back-to-back Grey Cups and then follow the Jets the rest of the year. Come on. From Phyllis, watching on YouTube, Phyllis says, I think the issue is that those who would be going to both games would have an issue with the dual games. For me, I will channel surf the games. Believe me, the teams only care about themselves. So you do, Winnipeggers, what's best for you. If you have to pick one, you know what? By Saturday night or Sunday, you will have forgotten. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
It's really not that big a deal. I guess we'll take a break and come back and continue this. Craig Button coming up, NHL's Director of Scouting. You got a lot of great comments here. We'll get to those. The Prairie Mobile text line is open, 306-840-8777. We're back on Game Plus Television this week across all 10 provinces and 31 states. Also live daily on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business.
Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. It is Canada's daytime sports talk show. We're coming to you from the NHL's Bermuda Triangle. But for Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be in Cowtown, broadcasting from the Sheraton Eau Claire Market. And then Friday, we'll be in the Bridge City, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, previewing a really big weekend of Husky athletics. Mike Babcock's going to be on the show, live and in person. Scott Flory, the Hall of Fame Montreal Alouette offensive lineman, now the coach of the Huskies football program. It's just going to be a really big time. Mandy in Edmonton wrote in earlier, and she said, what are the details on the RP Show Saskatoon trip? It's not a sports excursion. It's a show that Darren's working on the details with the University of Saskatchewan. You went to U of S for like a semester, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
How was that for you?
Amazing.
What'd you take?
Beautiful campus. I took a little bit of everything. Little arts
you
and
sampled
science.
it all.
Yeah,
eh?
I sampled a little kinesiology. I took a swimming class and a volleyball class, and I did some business school there.
Good for you.
The experience.
So the U of S came to me, and I did a little deflection over to Dupes. I said, he's the alum. He's the business guy.
Yeah.
I just show up and talk, and Bob's your uncle. And everything works out just fine. These guys are having a party.
Bob's your
There
uncle.
you go.
How about that?
Good work. Jennifer has joined the chat from the Four Seasons Sports Palace. And she says, how about those Regina Thunder? #1 team in Canada and all of Canadian junior football. You're calling a game of theirs this weekend, aren't you?
Sunday, yeah.
Look at you go.
Final game of the regular season.
Then playoffs.
And then playoffs.
That's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Let us know what you would like to talk about here in this segment, Block 2. It's a big block. We got like 15 minutes. We like to go back and forth with the viewers, and we can talk about sports on tap. We were just deciding, because we have viewers all across the continent and, in fact, all around the world, what's our wheelhouse for time? It's like, should we spend hour 1 on last night's games and hour 2 on tonight's games, whatever. What's exciting about this show is it's like riding a tiger, right? You don't know when to get off or what's the best way to ride it.
Exactly.
So every day we're trying to figure stuff out. And we'll look ahead to tonight's game. There's 11 games in the NHL tonight. The poll question today, which we have not mentioned yet for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, is which is Canada's game of the week in Week 12 of the CFL season? And your options are Friday night, Toronto at Montreal, then the Saturday triple header, Ottawa at Hamilton, BC at Winnipeg, Sask at Calgary. And running away with it on Facebook is Sask at Calgary, 73% of the vote. Huge game with West Division playoff standings implications. On Facebook, not as much. 51%. That game leads 30% BC at Winnipeg. Regarding all of that and I said, Winnipeggers, tell me how you feel about this Bombers-Jets thing from Michael Wynn. You know Michael.
Yeah.
He came out to our meet and greet at Hooters when we were there in August. He says, pissed off. You think the Pens and Steelers play home games at the same time? It's BS. Well, I know that our compadre, Hustler, went deep on this on Winnipeg Sports Talk yesterday. I didn't realize how big of a deal this was. Are you going to tell me the Pittsburgh Steelers and Pittsburgh Penguins have never played at the same time in the history of the world? I don't know. It's coming across to me as a whole lot of first world problems. I got to be honest with you. That's my first take on this. Do you have any more on that before we get to your NFL top 5? Because we've been waiting on that.
Yeah, no, it does feel like first world problems. I mean, the football fans, you try and go, you got to make a decision. And to be honest, I'd probably go to the football game because the weather's not getting any better and there's going to be lots more hockey. But you got choices to make if they're both at home. And if you're got a channel surf, you got a channel surf.
Nick Nielsen, the voice of the Clippers, is watching, and he makes a good point here. He wants to talk about penalties in the National Hockey League and in hockey in general. He said 2 headbutting calls already in the NHL. Penalties in the SJ are up this year. What's going on in hockey this year, Roddy? Feels like penalties are up everywhere. Oh, I think they are. In my old age, my memory's starting to fail me. But there was a game, was it Detroit last week? Can't remember the names, where the guy got clocked in the corner. You people, tell me who it was. The wing player turned, was it Dylan Larkin? Turning, popped the guy as a retaliatory thing, and he ended up getting suspended, did he not? And the initial shot that he took wasn't that bad. I thought him turning and suckering the guy wasn't that bad. But see, 25 years ago, we called that Tuesday.
Right.
There was no penalties whatsoever. So I guess to put a bow on your question, Nick, that's the way hockey is now. They don't want any rough stuff. They damn sure don't want any fighting. So when you say are penalties up, it's not a coincidence. They're trying to clamp down on everything. And I never really ever got to the bottom of that, by the way. In my 17 years in the Western Hockey League, I saw the transcension, is that a word, from what it was to what it is? And the word that I always got, without having actually sat in the meetings in Calgary with the league suits, was they were afraid of the fighting. We're talking about minors in a lot of cases here, not professional athletes and men. We're talking about junior hockey.
Right.
And it was pretty easy to see why you'd get kicked out of the game, or at the very least a 10-minute misconduct if you took your helmet off to fight. My God. Yes, as I get a little older, I realize you could slip on the ice, knock your head on the ice, and die. Vis-a-vis opening yourself up to a lawsuit. You could also slip on the ice coming out of your front porch every morning, too, and land on your head and die. But they don't look at it that way. It was a liability issue, and I'm just talking about junior hockey. But it seems like those in the National Hockey League, they don't want it either, clearly. We all know that nobody leaves their seat when the fights are on, and we know that. We knew something was going to happen Saturday night in the Battle of Alberta. I thought about it all day, but there were no fighting majors. So I guess if you're asking what's up with penalties, yes, they're up because they continue to try to clamp down on rough and tumble physical play. It's encouraged in the NLL. It's encouraged in pro football. It's not encouraged at any level of hockey. So thank you, Nick, for the question. That's my monologue on it.
Society has gone that way too, though, a little bit overprotective. Not that it's bad. The intention is to not get anybody hurt or kill anybody. But from a whole society perspective, we've gone overprotective too. How many kids do you see sliding on the railings anymore or tiptoeing on the high wire, right? I mean, it's always, no, get down from there, right. Please don't get hurt, right? We used to, at least when I was a kid, you try and climb on everything and you fall and you get back up, and that's how you learn balance and learn to, walk the wire, so to speak, right? But we're in a bit of an overprotective society, all for good intentions, but this is what it leads to.
Yeah, well, and I appreciate the viewers rallying to our cause, and that's why we do what we do here, this coffee session. I see Brian in Florida says he punched Matthew Joseph. Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York, says Dylan Larkin popped Matthew Joseph in retaliation after getting boarded. The American viewers, do you notice? Had to rally.
Yes.
You're starting to see why our viewership is what it is. They come here for the hockey. So I knew that it was Dylan Larkin. I couldn't remember who the kid's name is that he popped. But you remember the incident. Yeah. So he got boarded. Big deal. I actually, over the past couple of years, had to really sort of bite my tongue, think about this for a second, and say, do I really want to watch this hockey? And I decided that I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you could turn it off and watch something else. God knows there's enough entertainment options out there, but what am I going to do? Watch the NBA? No.
It's not like your option is to watch this hockey or go back and watch old school hockey because they're not going back to that.
Right.
So you either got this hockey or you've got no hockey.
Boy, very interesting. Things are heating up. Not in a bad way, but from Randy in the 541. What's the inside scoop about Bell letting Rod Black go from TSN? Great question, and don't we all want to know? Go to 3downnation.com, and they have a very eloquent article there at 3downnation.com on the fact that Rod Black's contract with TSN expired at the end of August. He mutually agreed with the network to do a few more CFL games, Women's World Hockey Championship, stay on after his contract was up, but after this certain date, he was going to ride off into the sunset. That's what the article said, and I tend to believe it. It's not like Rod Black, because I know him quite well, was going to go pull a John Gruden or was going to go pull a Urban Meyer. You knew something wasn't right, and it seemed very abrupt, but it wasn't going to be scandalous either. Right. And that was the story from 3downnation.com from the insiders, that his contract was up. What do you got there, Clark? What do you got? Oh, Trey Roberson? Yay! Breaking news. The Calgary Stampeders have brought back defensive back Trey Roberson after a stint in the National Football League. Interesting. I just saw Trey tweeting this morning that the grass isn't always greener on the other side and that he missed the CFL. Within hours, he's back. How about that?
How about that?
From the 204, anonymous. No, it's Phil. Phil watching from the 204. That's Manitoba. Says the Bombers and the Jets playing at the exact same time is the equivalent of waking up at 3 a.m. thinking your alarm is about to go off, but then finding sweet relief that you still have an hour of sleep before you wake up. But seriously, we've had a year without sports. This doesn't bother me. Go Jets. Go Bombers. Thank you, Phil. Somebody finally agrees with me. It's a first world problem. Stop complaining, please. From the 639. Stumbled across your call of Bo Levi being picked off by Duron Carter today. Missed the days of you calling Rider games, Ruddy. Haven't really been into the CFL since you left. I think that's why CFL interest is down. There are few mainstays in the CFL anymore, and you were one of them. I'm all for change, but don't get me wrong. I still like my mashed potatoes and roast beef. From the 639.
Don't lose the staple items on the menu.
Yeah, we can dabble with new things, but that's not, yeah.
If I come for steak, there better be steak on the menu.
Yeah, I was a meat and potatoes guy. There's no doubt. But you know what? Meat and potatoes ain't for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And all good things come to an end. And new things start.
That's right.
From Joe Lazito, watching on Long Island. He says it's an adjustment for sure, Rod. He's talking about hockey now. Says it'd be nice if we could get to a happy medium between what hockey used to be and what it's sadly become. Yeah. Should we have a burial ceremony and have a virtual cemetery? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And bury old-time hockey.
Ain't coming back.
I guess that's why we enjoyed so much the Lightning and the Panthers and the brouhaha that broke out at Amway Center in Orlando and that preseason game that I watched last month. It was wild.
Yeah.
And you know how certain things happen at real speed, but as they're happening, you feel like they're in slow-mo. Like when Andre Vasilevsky went behind the net to play the puck, Sam Benton, it's coming at him. This is NHL speed, man, pretty fast. That in my mind, it was 5, 4, 3. I'm like, he's not. He is! Boom! Corey Perry's fighting Owen Tippett. Brouhaha breaks. I couldn't believe it. Funny how your mind slows things down in real time.
Wait, yeah, it's not happening, is it? Wait, it is? Yeah.
That's what happened that night. And then I go back and I look at the score sheet, and here's the amazing thing about that night in Orlando. There were only 5 fights.
Yeah.
It felt like there were 30. You remember me talking about it on the show from Florida.
Yeah.
And there wasn't even one penalty at all in the first period. Not one. And then it all erupted in the second. And those two teams are playing tonight in the first real Battle of Florida of the season. Can't wait. Maybe we'll talk to Craig Button about that when we come back, the TSN's NHL Director of Scouting. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues here on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming as well. I'm heading out to Calgary tonight. We'll be live from Sheraton Eau Claire Market Wednesday, Thursday, And let's go to Cowtown now as we welcome in TSN's NHL Director of Scouting, Craig Button. Always great to chat with Craig. How you doing, Craig?
I am really good, Rod. I'm glad we were able to connect. I know you were here in Calgary a little while back and would love to have joined you, but wasn't able to that day. So it's always my pleasure to join you. How are you?
Absolutely. I'm great. I couldn't be better, man. I couldn't be better. We're traveling. We're watching a lot of hockey. No complaints whatsoever. And I'm going to dive right into the deep end. I want your expert analysis on this. Of the winless teams in the National Hockey League, mindful that we're only a week in, who should be the most concerned? Montreal, Islanders, or their fans, team or fans? Blackhawks, Coyotes, Preds, Jets, or Flames? Who's should be the most concerned right now?
The easy answer for me would be Montreal, but you almost could see this one coming. I would say the Winnipeg Jets right now, because I see them as a really good team, as a team more than capable of being one of the last four standing. And they start their season in Anaheim and then go on to San Jose, and, an opportunity to put some points against teams that I think are inferior. And they lose both those games in very different ways. They lose the game in Anaheim. John Gibson was brilliant. No Scheifele. Come back in San Jose, blow a lead. Goaltending was really subpar. And now on a Tuesday night in October, they got to go into Minnesota. And Minnesota's a hard out. They're a competitive team that can make life really difficult for you. Home opener in Winnipeg on Thursday night. I don't think you want to be 0-3 coming into that game. And right now, with no Blake Wheeler because of COVID protocol, I never like to get into this is a big game. But right now, the way that the Jets have played and lost their first two games, 0-3 is not a good look.
No, not at all. And the Wild, by the way, as you know, are 2-0. So this is a game that we're all going to be watching very closely tonight. But I don't know, Craig, is it today's NHL? Has it always been this way? With the Oilers' hot start, I felt like that home opener for the Flames last night was a very important hockey game. And they didn't necessarily give it away, but they were far from perfect. We both watched it. I saw your analysis. I got to think it's a little hot in Calgary these days.
Oh, I think they gave it away, Rod. I mean, you can be very kind. I mean, I don't know if you're wearing Calgary Flames underwear today, but that would be the kind of comment that somebody that wants to be an apologist. They played so well in that game, I thought. I thought in the offensive zone, they really, really pushed the Anaheim Ducks to defend. And again, if it wasn't for Gibson, that game would have been well out of control. But John Gibson is somebody you have to solve. That goes without saying. And I thought the Flames played really well. And then Noah Hannafin and Erica Branson decide that, defense in the National Hockey League, situational hockey, it doesn't really matter. It's 2-2. And then Noah Hannafin in overtime, he decides that he's going to try to make his best imitation of Bobby Orr. I know he grew up in the Boston area. He's no Bobby Orr. So there's how you fall on the wrong side of a game where you played well enough. Certainly had it under control, certainly had an opportunity to win it. And what teams like the Calgary Flames do, they play well enough to show you promise, but not well enough to emerge with the win. That's something that Daryl Sutter will address. He talked about it post-game on Monday night, and he wasn't too happy with a few of his players. And he didn't have to name names to know who he was talking about. But that's where the Flames are going to have to dial in. 5-game road trip into the East coming up here. You talk about things becoming really tenuous. Tell you what, Detroit, who's not as good a team as the Calgary Flames, if Calgary ends up in that game not winning, I'll tell you what, it'll be real serious for them.
And that's what I'm saying is usually it's like U.S. Thanksgiving that things get real tight. And I feel like it's just happening a little early. And by the way, this is what I'm trying to do, Craig. I was just live in Edmonton last week broadcasting from the pirate ship at the West Edmonton Mall. We're coming to Calgary this week. I'm trying to get along with everybody. The Oilers and Flames fans were ripping each other. I felt like Red Deer going, back off, both of you. Let's cover both teams. And the Stamps are giving me a Bo Levi Mitchell signed jersey to give away at the event that I'm speaking at tomorrow night. So I'm just trying not to offend anybody in Calgary for the first time in my life. You understand, don't you?
So what are you telling me, that Red Deer's the Switzerland of Alberta? Is that what you're telling me? It's like a Swiss resort up there at Sylvan Lake?
I'm telling you, it's right in the middle. You've got a map. You've been there many times. So stepping outside of Alberta, Battle 1 of the Battle of Florida tonight, whatever you want to call it, Chapter 1 is Lightning Panthers. I was just down there for 3 weeks. I chatted with Al Murray at the Pats game last week. This is the NHL's best rivalry. Two great teams ranked in the top 6 by NHL.com. You excited about this game tonight in Tampa?
Yes, I am, Rod. And, there's injuries. We know Kucherov isn't playing. So that being said, that playoff series last year, that 6-game series, it was fast, it was skilled, it was hard, it was competitive. That's how rivalries get built. And the fact is we know how good the Tampa Bay Lightning are and have been. And now the Florida Panthers, the little kid on the block, are saying, hey, listen, we can compete against you. Brian Engblom, who does color commentary on the Tampa Bay Lightning broadcast with Dave Randorf, said to me at the end of that series, he said, in all my years of broadcast, that's as hard and as competitive and as an in-your-face series as he's seen. He didn't say it was the only one. He just said it's as good, and there haven't been very many. Brian Engblom's been in a lot of games as a player and watched a lot of games as a broadcaster. And certainly, listening to him describe it that way, that's how I saw it. Joe Quenneville's a superb coach. John Cooper's a superb coach. You look at these teams, and I'll tell you what, it's fresh. It's fresh for the Florida Panthers to now come in and start to show, hey, Tampa Bay, you know what? We're not little brother here. We're not the one you can beat up on just because you were so much better than us all these years. I expect it to be a real hard game, and I'm looking forward to watching.
For sure, my man. And I think that's why in Orlando the gloves hit the ice to the amount that it did in the first of 3 straight preseason games. It was message sending time. It was awesome. And by the way, Bill Zito wants to make the Panthers, he said, a destination franchise. He signed Barkov to the 8 years, $80 million. They got Les and Reed Jackson there, so that automatically is going to make them winners, I believe. Just saw Reed at the Pats game the other night. Do you think that Florida could become a destination franchise? Because that's the goal.
I'll go there for $80 million.
Yeah, exactly. I'd pay $80 million to be there.
Here's what I would say. So Bill has gone in there. He made some changes and, got the team to another level. And, that's really important from a manager's point of view. Players want a chance to be successful, not just individually, but collectively. They don't want to just be putting in, their individual efforts and being the best they can be individually if there's not a greater reward out there. This isn't tennis. This isn't golf. This is a team sport, and it's incredibly important that a team, that's how you become not only a good team and a good organization, that's how you attract other players. That's how you keep players. When Jay Boomeister left the Florida Panthers, he was a born and bred Florida Panther. He was a high draft pick. He played very well down there. But Jay got to a point where he just said, this isn't a place where I can achieve what I want to achieve from a team point of view. The individual accolades were coming his way, deservedly so. But he just said, I'm out of here. And you can't blame him for that. He wasn't the only one, but I look at him as a player that's been drafted. So Barkov goes, hey, we got something good going here. That extends to Huberdeau. Ekblad signed a long-term contract. It's going to extend to their other younger players. And other players around the league are going, hey, that's not a bad place to go. I think I might want to go there. And I think that that's always an important step in being able to be a destination is, first of all, you got to be attractive. If you got a real good presentation and people can look in, you got a chance to get players and to keep players.
Yep, they haven't won a series since 1996, as you know. But when I was down there, it came up every day with the people I was around. It was hockey people, but they do have fans. They just need to win. My last one for you, Craig, is the Kraken got bombed in Philly last night, 6-1. How you feel about their first few games? Kind of going the way that you thought it might?
Well, I would say yes and no. I was surprised about them losing 6-1 in Philadelphia. Got away from them early, and they were never able to. It was like they were trying to climb a grease pole. They just couldn't. They couldn't get up there, and they kept slipping down. But early on in the season, they fell behind against Vegas. Found a way to win They lost the game late on the Chandler Stevenson goal. I know that he's one of your favorites because he played for the Regina Pats. So that's why I mentioned Chandler here. But also at the same time, they go and win a game in Nashville. I think they're going to be a competitive team. I think they've shown they're going to be a competitive team. Maybe score a little bit more than I thought early. Certainly getting beat like they did in Philadelphia. Watching how they go into New Jersey and play against a much improved New Jersey team, I think it'll be a good barometer not for me, not for you, Rod, but for their own team, for their players, for their coaching staff, and say, hey, listen, that game against Philly was that game. This is a new game, a new opportunity for us to show who we are. I think they're going to be competitive over the course of the year. I said this from the outset. I don't think they're going to be as good as the Vegas Golden Knights, but I didn't think the Vegas Golden Knights were going to be as good as the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, who did? By the way, the Kraken 4th in the Pacific Division. They already have that first win, as you pointed out, and the Flames do not. And looking up at the Kraken are the Sharks, Kings, Knights, and Flames, but they haven't played as many games. Craig, as always, a wonderful chat. I appreciate it. Please keep up the great work, and we'll see you soon.
We will see you soon. Good luck giving away the Bo Levi Mitchell jersey. I mean, you won't have a tough time giving it away in Calgary. Bo Levi's a beloved quarterback in person here. And, you know, at some point in time here when you're in Calgary, we're going to have to get together. And I look forward to it.
Thanks, Craig. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Craig Button, TSN's NHL Director of Scouting. When we come back, it is overtime. Viewer takeover. We'll take a look at the sports update on this Tuesday as well. We're brought to you by Prairie Mobile. They are your authorized SaskTel dealer, introducing SaskTel Plus pricing. Updating your cell phone has never been easier. Pick up the device you've been wanting without paying any upfront costs. Take advantage of the buy now, pay later program today. Our Show continues after this break on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. A quick run through the sports update. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers today. This is the breaking news in the CFL. Have announced American kicker Sergio Castillo has been acquired in a trade with the BC Lions in exchange for a conditional fourth-round selection in the 2022 CFL draft. Major League Baseball, the Dodgers are putting the ball in Walker Buehler's hands for Game 3 of the NLCS this afternoon. It's a 3:08 Mountain first pitch. The Braves lead the series 2-0, but Atlanta hasn't won a game at Dodger Stadium since 2018. Charlie Morton starts for the Braves. Veteran righty Zach Greinke will try to help the Houston Astros slow the surging Boston Red Sox tonight in Game 4 of the ALCS. Houston's pitching staff has allowed 25 runs and 32 hits to Boston, who leads the series 2-1. And the NBA season tips off tonight with no shortage of stats to follow over the next few months. Steph Curry's on his way to becoming the most prolific three-point shooter in NBA history. LeBron should continue climbing a slew of all-time lists, and Greg Popovich is on the verge of winning more games than any other coach in league history. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca and for G2G protein bars. Ben Cahoon and fitness coach approved. I noticed last night that Ryan Getzlaff, after watching the Ducks game, is 5 points shy of being the all-time Ducks leading scorer. Who's number one?
Paul Kariya.
Timo Solani.
That was my second guess.
Tacona Powley in Winnipeg has just written in and says, Rod, I'm demanding P1 status. LOL. Well, you got it. By January 1, we'll have the booster club set up, and you'll all be P1s. And you'll get the newsletter and the T-shirt and the jock strap. Fashion shows, radiothons.
The certificate.
The certificate. Early entry to all of our best parties.
Yeah.
Tattoos.
Brands.
Bob's your uncle.
Every week we do it. Darren Moose Dupont's top 5 in the National Football League, and usually he agonizes over it. Have you agonized over this list as we head into Week 7 in the NFL?
No, it came together pretty quick. The cream is rising to the top.
What do we got?
Hit it.
Moose Dupont's NFL top 5.
Yeah, the Arizona Cardinals are still unbeaten, and they're knocking off really good football teams. That win back to Week 1 against Tennessee, you start realizing it was a pretty good victory. That got them started. Tampa's still number 2. The machine, as you call it, that is Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Rolling. Cowboys, I thought it was the Cowboys or the Bills, the two most complete teams in the National Football League. Well, the Cowboys are. They're third. Can't stop Lamar Jackson in Baltimore right now. Their defense is good. He is now a passing quarterback who can run, not a running quarterback who can pass. That's what we've learned from Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. They're very good. Buffalo's still a really good football team. They're still 5th. I still got them in my top 5. But I don't think they beat Baltimore if they play tomorrow. I don't think they beat Dallas. I don't think they beat the teams above them on the list. Now, the teams that are close, the Green Bay Packers, the San Diego Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs are still really close, even at 3-3. And Tennessee's getting close. If they beat Kansas City this weekend, Tennessee could move into the top 5 or be on somewhere near this list next week.
Darren Moose Dupont's NFL top 5, and we encourage staff participation here. We're a small staff, but we're a close staff. Our sales manager in Calgary, Jimmy Two Tables, has a really big problem with your top 5, that his Denver Broncos are not in it. The team that lost to the Las Vegas Raiders on the weekend.
I laughed and said to you on the couch, I said, if you find the Broncos on anybody's top 5, heck, on anybody's top 10, I'll pull my pants down on national television.
Please don't.
And take it or whatever. It is
a spanking?
Yes. Because
what are you offering here?
They're 3-3. I think at that time I pulled up the ESPN rankings. They were 20th.
Right.
The Denver Broncos are not a top 5 team in the National Football League.
Jimmy, you do the selling, we'll do the talking.
But I appreciate
the input.
It was
How
like
about that?
One of our guys in this market, media guys, saying, the Raiders. Get out of here with the Raiders.
Well, it's not who you like the best.
Exactly.
It's the top 5 teams in the National Football League. We'll see you tomorrow at noon Eastern right here on Game Plus TV. Nerds! Nerds!